the perspective, like I won't be able to really see any of it until round 3 because I'll be playing and commentating aside from that. But it's so cool that every single one of those TVs has that player's point of view just right in front for the audience to see. So
I don't know if like we have a camera that we can see the front of it with, but it's like insanely cool. It's like I actually take credit for the idea.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about the main stage, first of all, like we were arguing between having the players face out so people could see their faces and reactions, or facing the wall so that they could like look over their shoulders and see gameplay. And I was like, well, why don't you just get a DVI splitter and put the monitors on front? And and Aeon was like, oh, that's an awesome idea. And they were just like, and they like immediately pulled the trigger, and I'm like so happy because it turned out
super cool.
Freaking well.
Yeah, and they were using it for like Smash doubles as well.
Yeah.
Like they had like a tournament last night, and they were like kind of testing out the setup. So it was pretty cool.
We were doing 2v2s for our little Beakon pre-party, and that was really cool too. Even that was cool. So I haven't been able to go out on the floor and actually watch like some real competitive games, but because I was on the spectator cam the whole time. But yeah, it's such a cool venue now. It's like. I think this is my favorite main stage of any Splat event so far.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, definitely. Like the Squid Storm thing was cool. They had the booths. I think that if we could take Squid Storm, like the second Squid Storm with the booths, and then also put those perspectives on the wall outside the booth, I think that would be like the perfect way to do it.
Yeah, but also like just the projector looks better on this one because it was like super washed out and you can kind of hardly see it at Squid Storm.
Squid Storm. Yeah, and it was also like really high up in the air. Like you had the kind of like.
And there's couches at this one.
Yeah, there's couches.
The chairs are just way
the
more
beanbags apparently are being cleaned right now, so we can't use them, which.
Yeah.
It's a little bit sad. Actually, I don't think there's actually that much room for them either because there's a lot more people.
There's just no room at this point.
But yeah, no, we got couches and stuff. Well, no, Squid Storm has couches. They had like those like leather couches that were kind of like right.
Oh,
in the front
they were
row.
like on the side.
Yeah.
Right in the front row. Yeah, I remember now.
First Squid Storm had a couch like all the way in the back where like Penguin just hid from everybody the whole time.
There's a running joke about Penguin sitting in the corner, like just hiding at every land.
All right, well here we go. Finally gonna get some gameplay. We got Inkblot, Art Academy, Splat Zones. Pretty classic game mode in Splatoon 2. You know, saw that first E3 tournament, and it's basically been a good game type ever since.
Rashi whipping out those Tetra dualies.
Oh, let's see how this works. What do you think of Tetra dualies?
I think they have some decent potential. I think the kit just doesn't really mesh super well with it.
Okay.
Like, Splashdown's okay, but the Autobomb is just like...
Yeah, Autobomb seems to kind of be... I don't want to say a death sentence, but Autobomb seems to be like a pretty big deficit for a lot of weapons that get it.
Yeah, it's at the very least not a positive for a kit. Like, it might not be a negative for certain things, but it definitely doesn't help the Tetris.
If they someday buff the white ink and make it so you can actually recover ink after throwing Autobomb, I think that'll kind of go away.
Yeah. I think the Tetras, like, they could really benefit from something like the Toxic Mist or something. But yeah, that was a really nice bubble right there, and that's going to get them in the zone.
Let's see how they end up taking advantage of this. They have one last person to kill in mid. That's good. He jumped out of there. Now, if they get some bombs up on Plat and put some pressure on, they can definitely get some time on the clock right now. No penalty from the work through. All of this is like pure points.
Yeah, the only problem I see here is they were like a little too slow with putting pressure on their Plat. So now, Tempest
they're kind of able to go over here to the left. Yeah, Rashi. You know, with those Tetra dualies, if you have really good spacing, you can definitely just outrange and kill everybody. We saw Rashi do that right now. Now he's going in.
He's going in.
Yeah, those weapons are that weapon's so cool, man. Like, I really think that people who...
It feels good to play.
Yeah.
Like, viability aside, it's so fun.
Yeah. I really think that if someone gets really good with that weapon at just using the movement and spacing and just being like basically being like a 10 attack with it, I think that's going to be a really strong like way to play the weapon. I know that the bomb rush one's coming out, which will probably be a little bit better. But
this is a bloodbath right now. Just dying trades left and right.
Nice, use the bubble blow right now. Gonna push over here to the left. Fate staying alive with this rapid. Is regular rapid? Yeah, it's not rapid pro. And she's almost bomb rush, so she should be able to get control of the zone pretty quickly. She's getting flanked here to the right though. Is she gonna get taken out there? She doesn't, but the bombs. She does end up get taken out. The bombs don't really help take the zone, and I think this is going to end up being a penalty.
Yeah, it's going to be a penalty. The problem was Fate's positioning on that bomb rush was not the greatest. Like, at best, she could only paint half the zone, and she could just get jumped on from the right super easily. So it just didn't really work out super well.
Yeah, she kind of put herself in a position where the one way that someone could try to push her is the way that, like, she was going to.
Yeah. And she wasn't, basically, she just wasn't thinking about when the bomb rush was coming. But that was a really nice kill from Rashi there, and it might open up them getting the zone.
Nice. Can you take out this blaster? Oh, really easy to do that with the rolls. Yeah, look at that. That's so cool.
That was so awesome. Rashi, best Tetras in it?
I mean, right now.
It's looking like it so far. So yeah, they didn't really get in on the plat again. So definitely MS Paint's gonna have a. Actually, it's the other way around. But MS Paint's gonna have a chance to get back in here.
Yeah, see, we got the bubble blower going off right now. Ace is gonna go pop. Gets flanked by Arashi again. Well, taken out by some bombs though. There are points being put on the clock. About 10 seconds left. Will this stay?
They're rushing in. All right, they get the kills that they need, but they can't hit the zone quick enough. Need to refresh his penalty in order to gain too.
Yeah, stay focused on objective. Nice. Good there. Track down this last guy at tree, and you're definitely going to be a nice setup going. Let's see if they actually get up onto the enemy plat now. Everybody still seems to be in mid. There is one person over here to the right that's being called out. That's a nice kill on Arashi from Minato, and he has splash down here. He could use that to help a teammate push up, but it looks like they're going to be fine as it is. I mean, the enemy team already has splash right now, so pushing up on the plat is a little bit of a misplay.
They had too much to clean up, so they couldn't actually get in. So bomb harass is the way to play there. I actually think that's the correct decision. But now, yeah, not going to cut it back.
This is definitely going to be a green zone. Yep.
That's 3 down
armor.
Now. Oh, that was a wipe. The rapid just spawning, so this is going to be a pretty good hold here. They don't have the paint quite yet, but they're ready to
Still
push
not
in.
quite pushing up. I know that they have that rapid there, but some bombs is probably going to be the best choice right now. They do have 2 lethal bombs and burst bombs, so it should be pretty easy for them to do that. The bomb rush is going also. Are they pinning zone right now?
I think that jumping in there was kind of a mistake there. Oh, Rush gonna live? Oh, not quite. Minato does clutch that kill, but he gets cleaned up by the enemy team.
Bubble blowers alone probably won't be able to do this, especially.
Well, this might be a lead. They basically have to rush this to stop the lead right now. Oh, Siren gets picked off by a bomb, and that's gonna definitely be the lead for
Tempest. And then Ace gets taken out as well. I was going to say that if they just be a little bit patient and use that bubble blower to push in the second here, they'll be fine. But no, that's definitely going to be game.
Yeah, they can't get back in time. There's no way. Yep, and that's going to be Tempest taking game 1.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth. Really good game 1.
Very evenly matched game, like alarmingly evenly matched. They were actually making the same mistakes, both teams. Actually. They both were pushing incorrectly once they got control, so it's actually kind of funny to see.
I think it kind of came down to like a little bit of hesitation to try to take the map with that one guy behind. But sometimes you have to. Oh my gosh, Arashi!
I feel like that was MS Paint playing slightly better as a team, but Tempest just like kept making plays, like Arashi just like would make a play or something, and they just like get the zone back in time. So
I think if MS Paint had made those like really aggressive plays up on the plat and actually force Tempest to either back up for way too long or have some some deaths, I think they definitely could have won that. I mean, there was a lot of back and forth, and all it would have taken was just a little bit more effort from either team for that to go in their favor. The little bit more effort from Arashi and like 20-something kills just happened to be what it was for Tempest.
Yeah. I mean, getting 21 kills with Tetradulies at a LAN, it might be convincing some people to play it now.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a fun weapon, definitely, if you go to try it. I think that there's kind of like this conceptual thing where like if you're using like a longer range dually and you're always just rolling perfectly where you're getting people at max range, you can basically win any one-on-one. Dually Squelcher can sort of do that, but Dually Squelcher, like its kit and like what it's designed to do, it's kind of more of like a mid-range weapon, like you kind of going with somebody, whereas like the Tetris seem to be the more aggressive version of that.
Yeah, Tetris can kind of like go in and out better than Dually Squelcher can. Dually Squelcher is really good at going like diagonal and side to side because it's not rooted when it goes. It can kind of just keep strafing left and right, and it's like really hard to hit when you do that. But it's not as good for back and forth because it.
Yeah, well, Dually Squelcher always seems really good where like you think you're going to be able to jump him, and then he just like.
He's just
hits the red button, he's just gone, and then he's hitting you, and it's like really punishing. Whereas like the Tetra's like the opposite, where it wants to be the one aggressing.
That's my main weapon, so I love seeing Dually Squelcher every time. There was already one this tournament I saw.
Was there? That's cool.
I think it was. I think it might have been Saikai that actually whipped that out.
Maybe. Saikai was, I mean, being Saikai and whipping out a lot of random weapons.
They did something weird on like a port mackerel. I think it was port mackerel zones, and I think it was Saikai, but I can't remember for sure. Oh, but yeah, we're going into game 2 here. I think that's Walleye Clam Blitz.
Fun.
I like this as a Clam Blitz map. I think my only real
Stingray is really important too. I mean, but you can use Bomb Rush instead of Bubble Blower, but it kind of depends because the Bubble Blower actually puts a protection from hitboxes on that area to the left.
It's hard to give that up because it just guarantees control coming out of close or points. I mean.
All right, and let's see. Do we have Bubble Blower for either team? We actually don't. Oh no, we have the Forge Pro. We have the Baller on the side of.
It can serve the same function. It's not quite as good at it, but it can do the same thing a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see how that if that ends up being a factor of how this plays out right now. We have the Slasher deck on the center of the map here, getting in the Slasher one-on-one. He has some people behind him and needs to be careful that he doesn't get taken out here. We'll use the baller, he will. He's going to chase down this Slasher machine right now. Probably good to
You cannot have me, man.
Trying to make sure Keen doesn't get a good KD right here, but this is looking pretty good for Tempest right now. They have some map control. If they're able to take out Ace right now, that's also going to be a big asset for them having that bubble blower down. And if they are able to also go back towards the middle of the map and get some some momentum going, we could see a push coming here soon.
Yeah, MS Paint's last two guys, they were actually pretty good about keeping some map control up in the middle, so it slowed them down enough that I think that's not actually going to be a push, especially because they don't have, or they just now got like a significant amount of time. So
yeah, and both teams have kind of shown a reluctance to overcommit to a push. He does have control. Clam goes in. I don't know if that's going to be the biggest deal right now. Fate might get taken out here in mid as well. There's just going to be, just a Clam in 80-point push. It was a full wipe, but MS Paint really doesn't have that many clams to make that much of a counter push by the time Tempest gets back up.
Yeah, I mean, the first power clam is the most important in the game, in my opinion, just because, like, sometimes it's basically impossible to score, so if you get that score and they just get that one clam in as well, you get the win because of tiebreakers.
Yeah.
So it's definitely important to do that first.
It's a little bit harder to push on this map than against others, although with something like, Ford Splatter Shot Pro, you got the heavy for, like, the Stingray to push back in the base. That definitely can...
it just takes some forethought, really.
Yeah, you basically have to do, like, coordinated special play.
Yeah. Again, there's one just trying to get some more control. Stay alive with the Siren just
what was that you said? Stay alive?
Yeah, didn't work out so well for him, but Ace is trying to keep up with
Ace taking out Arashi. It's almost as if after that first game, every time you take out Arashi, it's like a little victory in and of itself because you're taking out that huge main player the enemy team has.
Yep. So looking at the map here, it's kind of even as far as control goes, and it kind of is seeming like MS Paint isn't really doing super great about getting clams, so they just don't have the threat in terms of the kills to push in.
Yeah, we had Keen push up here with the baller to try to make something happen in the enemy goal, but he didn't have a football, so when the baller exploded, he wasn't able to pick it up afterwards. Yeah, didn't really lead to any points. But there is a lot of map control for Tempest. They have 24 clams right now and 3 specials, so a push could definitely happen soon. I expect to kind of see Arashi maybe pop the Inkjet when that armor goes off. No, the armor gets taken out. Arashi does get a kill, but this is starting to look a little bit less and less of a push until his teammates off screen get a bunch of kills. And this is definitely
trying to hide that big one, and he goes for it. Nice. So that's going to be that's honestly a pretty nice solid lead, and they're continuing to get points here with the Stingray guarding them.
Yeah, Ace here trying to do something about this Stingray, and I think a different person gets taken out. Yeah, Fate trying to back up now, does get taken out, but look at that, the push at 52, really good push, especially considering how, infrequent pushes have been on this map so far. They could probably win with this.
Yeah, they definitely can win with this. So the Clam Blitz is one of the hardest modes to kind of like make a huge point game.
Yeah.
Usually it's like 20, usually it's like 30-ish is what you get out of a single push, and like with the penalty, it's going to be very hard to get down to 52.
Right.
Do multiple pushes.
Arashi getting some of those defensive kills right now, taking the Empire to the middle of the map, gets a kill. Starting to pick up clams. He can make a power clam, but we've also seen Arashi likes to kind of make that a little bit of a secret. Yep, see?
He's going for it again.
That's interesting.
I mean, this works super well, especially on Walleye, because there's so much focus on that side of the map. Yep, and he just gets right on
Inkjet this guy. Nice kill. Power clam kind of betraying the person trying to do something about it. Gets the second. Will he get the triple? He does get the triple.
Nice. That was super clean from Arashi there, and that might be able to keep them continue to get points here. Yep, they refreshed the timer, and now they're just going to go. This could be a knockout here if Arashi stays alive.
Yeah, at this point, they probably should just throw one clam in every once in a while so that they can kind of keep the basket open. That or back up. Fate right now is starting to Stingray, but I think this is going to be a dead push. But only 40 seconds left on the clock and 0 points on the board for MS Paint. I don't really see this being an easy comeback.
Yeah, MS Paint just needs, like, all Tempest has to do is collect, like, 6 or 7 clams per person, and MS Paint can't get a good enough push in 30 seconds. Because the way the clams work is there's a limited amount at any given time, including the ones that people are carrying, as long as they're not carrying a football.
Yeah.
So if they're holding like 30 of them, there's just no way that
the enemy's going to actually do that.
Get to the red mark.
They'd have to kill them, especially if footballs are being held. You have to kill people and then wait for the footballs to spawn. Now, luckily, the way that this game kind of works with the clam spawn system is it wants there to be a certain amount of clams in play. So if there's not many clams in play, the clams spawn really fast. So if you are able to take out those power clams, and then wait for a moment, clams are going to spawn fast.
The power clams don't count towards that total.
Oh, they don't?
They don't. So, so you want to keep less than 10 so that you don't make a power clam.
Interesting, interesting. That I didn't know. I thought the power clams count towards that.
No, as soon as you like, if you notice, as soon as you like make a power clam, sometimes like if you grab it from like a spawn point,
right,
you make a power clam, and they'll just like immediately spawn again.
Oh, cool.
It's a really weird mechanic, and like I think as the game goes on, it's one of those things that most teams don't know or know how to do. So I think as the game goes on, people will realize that, and there's definitely some cool strategies involved with holding clams.
And it's making me think that we have to go back to like when Clam Blitz first came out and just do nothing but scrim Clam Blitz for for like a week.
Well, it's one of those problems is like it's such a troublesome mode in solo queue because of how much teamwork it requires to perform well that like people don't even want to play it because they're so like just scarred by the fact that solo queue sucks. But
yeah, solo queue. It's like worse than solo queue Rainmaker used to be.
I think in competitive, it's I think it's on par with Splat Zones. Like the only thing it needs to really be even with Splat Zones for me is the super jumps with the big clams. That needs to be like reworked in some way because it's too easy to just score for free by a super jump.
Yeah, especially like. You know, you get a bunch of kills, you start to move up, one guy snuck behind you, and a bunch of people jump to him, and you just like lose the lead.
They're staying back with the power clams, and you can't get to them, and then one guy runs in with like an ink brush or something, or like
roller usually,
and there's no counterplay to it because even if you kill them on the frame they land, they can still throw it.
Yeah. Yep. But well, we'll see how it ends up playing out with those kind of things in mind. You know, for right now, those jump ins with the power clams are part of the game, so
yeah, and
gonna have to set them up. And
we're at a 2-0 right now, I believe, but it's really close to it. That second game definitely felt like it was under control of Tempest the whole time, but it's not like they were stomping either. So
it was just MS Paint they were getting kills, and they were holding like mid, but they weren't really like collecting the clams and actually pushing them up. Like the few times that we saw like activity in the enemy basket, it was like the Slasher Deco by himself with like 8 clams like explodes, scatters them everywhere, and then ends up like leaving or dying or something like that. They just didn't quite have the coordinated pushes that they actually showed on the Inkblot game. I mean, while the Inkblot game they didn't have those big aggressive like where like a group of like 4 rolling up on you kind of pushes, they did tend to work together.
Yeah, and it's also what's kind of showing from that game for me is that Tempest might actually have more practice as a team. I think that first game MS Paint did show a lot more teamwork, but it is also a mode that's much more teamwork.
Right. See a little bit of
Dually Squelchers.
Yeah, the Dually Squelchers are in play right now. We see a bunch of people from Tempest getting some kills here at the start of the game. Now this Blaster 1v1 does not go in Tempest's way, so it is going to be kind of an even match in a moment here to stop kind of an early push from happening. But right now the tower is to 88. A lot of deaths being traded back and forth at the center of the map right now, and Tempest is going to come up slightly on top right here.
I think they should have not committed to that tower and just kind of used it as bait so that they could clean up the people that they knew were right there. I think sticking to the tower there was kind of what stopped that from being a much more deadly push, but they are right back into it and able to push again, so let's see how this goes.
Yeah, right now we have Arashi putting a lot of pressure there. See that Dually Squelcher, as soon as he's threatened, he can back right up and then come back in, throw a point sensor, all kinds of stuff.
I love that. He pops it and he starts swimming back and gets the vision as he's going back. And I guarantee you he's calling out me like, they're coming for mid, let's push on him.
Right now, Blaster 1v1. Siren does avoid some damage right here, gets a kill. Voltage in position right now to kind of keep the pressure going with this end zap. He is getting pushed by a bunch of members, so it looks like this might be a dead push. Voltage is doing the good thing and getting out of there as he's going to just back up, go back to top mid, maybe Shark for this kill right here. Hopefully he doesn't get taken out by a teammate after that, though.
That was such a smart play from Voltage right there. Like, stayed alive. Like, he knew he was the last one. He stayed as long as he could, got out when he needed to, and then got jumps for his team. Like, that was beautiful, honestly.
Yeah, you definitely need someone playing like that on any given team. And I mean, it doesn't always have to be the same person, but those are the kind of plays that you have to do in this game to keep up the same kind of pressure that you could in Splat 1. There's no quick response stealth jump really in this game.
Well, I mean, there is, but it's just not as potent.
Yeah.
So it's not as potent for aggression at least.
And even if there is, you can't just like kind of mindlessly jump in. You have to actually set up the jumps.
Yep. All right, so looking at it right now, looks like Tempest is kind of on the back foot right now, giving MS Paint some chance to get some match control here. Ace is looking for this kill here. Nice teamwork from Minato there.
Some pressure over here on left. Blaster almost gets a kill. Ace gets out of there. That's good. That's really good because he has a bubble blower.
Only happens on land like that. That guy would have been dead on line.
I don't really know how much this bubble blower is going to accomplish. It doesn't have that many teammates alive right now. But
Surprised by the tower. Oh man, that was nice work there from Voltage.
Slasher Deco is definitely going to have difficulty killing the person on the tower. It's good for him to back up. Right now, Monado is trying to get into a fight with a blaster, but unfortunately that armor does stop him from being able to get the kill. Keen's going to clean that up. Fate right now is in a tussle up top mid here with Voltage and Arashi. So all three members right there definitely are able to kind of push over here a little bit to the left. Let's see what they're doing it. One member goes down. Fate's putting pressure on this other person. They have a teammate on tower. Looks like the blaster is going to flank over to the right after this kill goes down. This is definitely looking like a big push. Yeah,
this is definitely a big push. They've already cleared 2 checkpoints, I think. So yeah, this is going to be pretty deadly here. They're bomb rushing right in the spawn too. They're definitely getting around this bend. They're not very quick about watching Ace here, but they're going to jump on him. Ooh, nice kill from Ace. That might save them from getting the knockout.
Yeah, Ace definitely in good position right here, and definitely took advantage of the fact that that Tempest wasn't watching that area, and he is going to stop the push. But the problem is they have to push it themselves. They've only been able to get to 95. Like again, they keep getting in situations where they take the map and like they're starting to coordinate special and stuff like this. But like, where's the tower moving right now? No one's on tower. Ace gets over here to the right, gets taken by Fate. Monado's on the tower. He's going to jump down and possibly get a kill with this baller, but what's going to happen afterwards?
Yeah, the baller push is great, but nobody's there getting on towers to move it as this is happening. So it's just like they're getting nothing out of it.
Yeah, and I mean, that might also be an indicator of why they're able to do better in Splat zones than they seem to have been doing in these other game modes so far, whereas like, if they're not really playing objective in Splat zones, you kind of still win. Splat zones isn't really an objective-focused game, but the tower control and Clan Blitz definitely are, and it's kind of showing.
Yep. So looking at it here, they are getting somewhat of a push going here. They got the bubbles ready to go.
Nice, they got a kill. There's only one person alive right now. It is a rapid.
Fate may be able to clean this one up here, though.
Yeah,
this is a nice kill, actually. Doesn't quite keep up the pressure, but it's you know, that was a nice distraction at least.
Yeah, that was looking like it was going to be a pretty solid push right there, but unfortunately, people just got taken out. It actually happened like really fast. Cause
yeah, I mean, what happened was the blaster, as they died, they got a really important trade there.
Right.
And that person was the one in position to actually like hold people off as they came out of spawn. So they just
and then everybody was able to kind of flood out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be good to kind of recognize which people are key players for a push, and when those people die, you kind of have to stop it. Right now, we see another push coming out of Tempest right now on the tower to just make sure there's no overtime, and they're going to take it 3-0.
Yeah, as that set went on, it felt like Tempest just got better and better. Honestly,
yeah,
it definitely the struggle early on. It might be partly because of the mode, but it also just felt like Tempest was warming up too.
Yeah, like the first game, Arashi was like kind of had all the glory, but like they weren't really able to actually control the zone, and they were getting outslayed in a lot of situations, and they just kind of barely ended up coming on top per se. I mean, I know that the score wasn't like that close, like it was a knockout, but that knockout just happened at the very end when it was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Those next 2 games though were just much more dominant. Everybody on Tempest was playing well. You know, we saw Fake getting a lot of key kills. We saw like the blasters doing stuff as well. So I guess just once everybody else was warmed up and starting to get to Arachi's level, then it was just game over from there.
Yep, and then